everybody, I'm doing a session for clients, so I'm going to be sharing psychic wisdom and energy healing. If any of you are interested in exploring a session with me, please come visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. All right, so there aren't any specific goals here with this session. I'm going to go as guided by spirit. I want to thank you so much for the opportunity to connect with you today, and thank you so much for sharing with others. I'm going to relax now, get in the zone, and we will see what comes up. Okay. What is the most valuable wisdom and healing that I can share with you today? So, okay. Just a minute here. There's a lot of energy that's coming across the left side here. And it's getting caught in my throat. And this energy is bronze. And this energy is white. It just feels like you're getting collecting yourself, collecting things in your life, as in like bringing compiling information together. It's like putting the pieces of the puzzle together so that you can see the whole picture. And there just seems to be a soft-spokenness, like a holding yourself back sensation. But there is progressiveness. Like in the process of putting a puzzle together, it takes time to figure it out, right? To size up some of the pieces, and slowly but surely you put the puzzle together. Once the puzzle is together, you've got the achievement you're looking for, you know what you're looking at, and you can work with this, right? So if you're missing some of the pieces of the puzzle, you don't have all the information yet. So there's the process of doing this, and I feel like maybe this resistance is working on finalizing these puzzle pieces. So finalizing the picture so that you can see what all you're working with, not 95% of what you're working with, but where it feels like you've got 100% of it really figured out, like ducks in the row scenario. And you're just not there yet. Something, again, it feels withdrawn. It feels like stepped back. And this is not about the puzzle or gaining access to the bigger picture to make some decisions that you can follow through with, understanding what you're working with, where you're at, decisions you can make to move forward in new ways. This, you're holding yourself back, it feels different. It feels like a confidence thing. It feels like I don't want to call it a confidence thing, though. I'm going to call it an absorbing thing. In order to do this absorbing thing, you can't put yourself in a busy environment, because you yourself absorbing an absorbing thing, you don't want to absorb whatever this information is from the air, from the astral plane, from the earth, whatever. This is ultra special absorptions. So if you were to do that in the midst of a crowd, that would be conflicting of what you're trying to listen to, what you're trying to hear. Something else feels sad. Something feels, yes, you are doing this absorbing thing, but yes, you need some space from the noise of day-to-day life or day-to-day people, day-to-day routine. It feels like a separation in a way. It's just doing what's right for you right now, which is good. Interestingly enough, it reminds me of sticks of gum, but it's not like minty fresh gum. It's more like bubble gum, like kid flavored, and it's like they're like the soft sticks. It's softer than you would expect. It's oddly soft sticks of bubble gum. Okay, I don't know why, but that's there's a feeling that reminds me of soft sticks of bubble gum. It's nice. Yeah, okay. So there is a bit of a sad feeling, okay? This is also natural. It feels natural. And I see drops of tears that fall into the picture that is missing some puzzle pieces. And you tell me that some puzzle pieces will are lost, basically. Some puzzle pieces are lost. And so then these teardrops hit these holes in the puzzle, and now the holes in the puzzle are filled with a single massive teardrop, okay? This puzzle starts to look like a map of the United States. One of the states looks like New York to me. It's almost like there's a state on the East Coast, there's a state in the central United States, there's a state that's more like Northwest, and there's a state that's in the South. And so there's only a couple states, like let's say four, all right? You can't make a decision, like your heart is fluttery. And it's kind of like, let's say you're trying to draw a really awesome picture and you're in the car and then you just hit bumps and you just can't do it right. It's not the right time. I mean, if I'm going to do this right, then I need everything to be the way it needs to be. It's like I need to have a smooth environment where I have nothing but time, no interruptions, no random bumps along the way. Like I have this just everything's in its place. I'm ready for this. I'm emotionally, mentally, physically. I'm there with it. I can have a follow through without interruption. Missing puzzle pieces. I At this point I say they're just states. No, you shake your head no. No, and the oddest thing happens, and you become a young, like a child, and you're having a slight temper tantrum. And you're like, no. And then you take all of these pieces of the United States and then you just scramble them up, and then you throw them in the air, and then they just fall everywhere, and then it's like, like this, okay? And it's brief. I mean, it's not taking this too far. It's just a scrambly moment of frustration, and then taking all out on the puzzle, and then just throwing it in the air. And it's like frustrated with this. I joke and I say, I'm not putting that back together again for you. You're gonna have to start all over now. You let your little temper tantrum get in the way of what you've accomplished. Why are you doing that? That's a bad idea. It's not honoring all the time and the effort it took to actually create what you created. Now you get to now start over again and now recreate it. Don't take your anger out on progress. Don't take your anger out on progress. You needed to take your anger out on progress. And it's not starting all over again. It's changing the rules, changing the situation. The person you were when you started is becoming a new person, and your relationship with what you started is changing. So you're working with new rules, new identity. And so you disagree. And I say, cool. And I just take all the mess and I just collect it all and I put it in the garbage disposal and then grind it up. And I say, gone, bye bye. And I turn the water on. I just rinse it on down the sink. It's the weirdest thing. And now I show you just fresh carpet as though you were doing this on carpet. And the carpet is a whitish, off white color. It's not perfectly white, it's like an off white color. It's just classic basic carpet. But it's clean. It's clean. It's freshly vacuumed. It doesn't have any spots on it. It's probably got a nice thick pad underneath. It's probably nice to walk on. I get this impression from the carpet, okay? And now you have nothing but clean carpet. And then you kind of get in a like a I see a top that's spinning, and you kind of become this top that's spinning, and eventually the top can only spin for so long before it has no choice. It runs out of its own pace. It stops. And now what? Now you're left with this nothing. I mean, that's kind of energetically what it says. You're left with just carpet. You don't have anything to work with. You don't have any puzzle pieces. You don't have any ideas. You're working with nothing. What's interesting though is this is honoring your statement. This is honoring your statement that you're a new person now than the person that started the process. You're starting the process as this new person. So as this new person, then this is good to start with basically nothing and everything, technically. But you don't have any physical tools. I mean, there's nothing okay, why am I thinking? All right, things are appearing here, okay? And so when I say you're not working with any physical tools, I was thinking like building blocks, puzzle pieces, in order to maybe phone numbers, Google searches, What you actually pull out is crystals, like divination cards and divination tools, okay? In like incense, candles, things like this. And so it's not practical, it's metaphysical, okay? Metaphysical tools. This is home. Metaphysical tools, this is home. And this is actually really lovely and it gets me going. I don't know. There's something about the perfect placement of things. And it's like perfectly straight, vertically straight, then perfectly horizontal. And then there's this perfect card here and everything is lining up. And there's a little stone. I'm going to put it right there. Oh my God, it's freaking me out the way that everything just connects. It's great. Like it's like heart bursting joy here. It's like phenomenal, okay? It's like the OCD joy of everything and it's has a place and everything in its place and everything is clean and organized and breathable. Like, yes, I've got this. Then this is divination moment, this metaphysical process. It's wonderful. It's soul, it's life, it's breathable, it's great. It's like Google search, phone numbers, it's like practical human world stuff. Metaphysical stuff. Yes, I relate to this. This is who I am. This is me. This is my life. This is what I am. So, okay, you're having a hard time reading what is you've crafted a message basically. It's interesting because you crafted it but it already had been crafted. You're just bringing it back into you're basically manifesting it in a way that your human self has access to something that already existed in, you can say, the astral plane, okay? So let's say it was already manifested for you either by yourself, by you, or by other spirits. It was manifested there. And now you just pulled that manifestation into physical reality so your human self can look at it. And it's like you crafted it. I mean, I feel like you actually knew where everything needs to go, what everything is, but something is missing in the message. Can't interpret it fully. And basically there's a circle. This is so fascinating. So there's a circle, and then the circle starts to have four pieces, like pizza pies, okay? So four slices of pizza going on here. And now, within the four slices of pizza, there are two additional slices of pizza. But these two additional slices of pizza have nothing to do with the four original larger slices. These are their own universes. Like these are their own worlds, these additional two smaller pieces. So you could say there's four larger worlds, and then let me say 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 8. Duh. All right, so then there's 8 like other worlds, okay? And they're interrelated to the four larger worlds that are interrelated to the one whole spherical space, okay? And you see this not as a flat reality, but as an interdimensional reality. And you can move these pizza pies in different parts of the whole. I see you actually moving shapes from here over to here and there and there. In the energy world, I see you moving the grid around. And like it seems so natural, it seems so seamless. And there's something about this green is a whole triangle piece. There's green, but then there's one red line, very thin red line. There's a lot of open space. There's some colored space. Primarily when it comes to, let me see here, there's northeast, so it's like closer to, let's say 1 o'clock. Yeah, like closer to like 12 and then 1. It's like right in there. But then when you take this pizza pie shape out, the smaller one out, I start to see a totally new appearance of the message. It basically looks like a flag. And then the flag has red and green and white, okay? There's a lot more white than anything else. All right, we're just going to go with it. There's just a tiny little rectangle, and it's primarily green. It has a thin red stripe. And this is bothering you, bothering you, bothering you. Now you show me the dimensionality of it, and it looks like a very tall tower. And it's resting upon a location, which is like a state, okay? It literally represents some kind of a state of the United States. This was what it reminds me of. I don't know why I was like, I bet that's Nebraska. I don't know why it makes me think of Nebraska, but I'm convinced it's not, okay? I feel like it's not Nebraska. I feel like it's something East Coast. And I feel like this tower is symbolic. I mean, it's got symbolisms like the Twin Towers, but it's like it's a symbolic tower, symbolic building in a symbolic state, okay? And this is really like grinding your heart gears. Something's wrong. I say when we try to create too much perfection, when we try to narrow it right on down to the specifics, that's when we get lost because nothing is exact. I mean, technically, you could say everything is exact. Let's just say we have a phenomenal, physicist that has created, this exact equation, all right, that is so functional. Now, 1,000 years later, that exact equation is really like a preschool level stuff. It even wasn't quite right. It was a really good. It's like estimating pi, or versus letting pi be the exact number. This is something about holding on to it. The Earth is flat. No, the Earth is round. Like it's like holding on to an idea as though this is the way it's going to be for all eternity and everything's going to stand still and nothing's going to change and nothing's going to move, and I need it to be so precise that it is so specific that will always be this way in all of time. That's when things are that's when things feel ill, vibrationally ill to me, because nothing stands still. Nothing is so precise as this, because the universe is always revolving and showing us a new side of its own identity. I mean, even the rules of our reality could potentially turn themselves inside out. And everything we thought was our history is now rewritten history. And what is real and what isn't real. Now, why were we thinking that? And now we're thinking this. That's why we got to just let things be an approximation, an estimate, a really good idea for right now. Like this works for me for right now. But now tomorrow it might not work because tomorrow I'm going to be a new person. It's kind of like you in the puzzle. It's like you are a new person. You're going to work with some new rules because you're working with a new identity. So screw that, whatever I was working on before. I'm glad I had that temper tantrum. Now I'm working with the clean carpet. Now I'm working with nothing and everything. Now I'm creating these divination, metaphysical answers. Now I'm getting frustrated with it because you're growing. You're developing here, okay? But I just knock the tower down and then I spray black pepper spots all over the white. And then I pound on it 3 times. Bum, bum, bum. Okay? And then I rip it all up into little pieces and I go, ha ha ha, like this. I say, now do you know what the answer is? Now do you know what the precise answer is? And you're thinking. Saying, okay, so this event, I just created an event to help you find the answer that we were looking for. I created an event. And so you couldn't use just yourself. You needed a tool which was outside of yourself in order to create an event, in order to fill in the gaps. So you say thank you because I couldn't have done it without you, basically. Like, oh, cool. So I crafted an event. Cool. Like, it was always perfect. It was always perfect. Even for me, even though it was like, I'm just being crazy right now, it was actually so divinely, like, it was a divine intervention. I felt like it was crazy, but really my higher self had this thing the whole time. It was perfect. Okay. Yes, yes, you're nodding and you're taking lots of notes and you write in totally weird language. Like it's got what could be like numbers and letters intermixed in shapes, okay? And it's equidistant. Like there's no word space. It's more like perfect spaces in between every single letter, like a crossword puzzle, you know? It's like things aren't written close together with spaces in a crossword puzzle. Everything's equidistant so you can see all the letters. So that's what this is like. It's create a block. Could be like 12 symbols, letter things across, and 12 up, 12 down. You know, it's something like this, and it's perfect. Like I see it on the page. It looks really nice. Except you've been kind of writing and then erasing and then writing again, then erasing. So there's kind of smears to the pencil markings. It's a work in progress. You show me that this is important because you're constructing the tower. And the tower is, so each one of these symbols isn't just a flat thing. It's not just a piece of paper. Let's say this symbol, which looks like a backwards 3 with like a triangle in the center. Now this, you expand this and you create a single like tower, a rectangular prism. And this is connected to all the other rectangular prisms and they're all connected to create the whole, okay? And for some reason, you're creating like insane calculations here. It's like like up, down, this way, that way, circle, square. You know, it's like like crazy calculations happening here, and it just makes so much sense. Everything makes so much sense. I'm just watching you, and you're just like, I just see colors going up and down, things fluttering and circulating, pinpoints happening here and there, cross sections, all happening. So I'm just slowing you down. Because again, it's like you're getting attached to the manifestation of something. It's almost like I can vibrationally tell that this is we've done what we needed to do. Let's just let this, like, you put the ingredients, they're all mixed up, you put them in the pan, put them in the oven, and then you walk away. Put the timer on, okay? The cake is baking, okay? You walk away. You can't just just keep dealing with all the cake batter and continue to stir it and continue to add ingredients. Like there's a point where you did everything you need to do. Now you walk away and let the oven do the rest of the work. But you keep wanting to get your hands dirty, like your hands into this. Like you need to keep adding ingredients. It's like you did it. You walk away now. You walk away. You can't tell though. You can't tell that you've already touched this enough to walk away. You get kind of attached to it because there's something more valuable to what this means to you than what the human world is providing. This divination, this metaphysical, this manifestation, this translation of something geometric, something mathematical uh, and like it's like the written word and math and energy and shapes and everything and colors and movements and all this stuff sounds. It's like this is real. This is tangible. This is good. This is alive. This is a living creation. This is my manifestation. This I love this. This is like my baby. I'm like creating an energy baby right now. And I just it's like time to step away. Vibrationally, you're going to burn yourself out here because you've pushed it too far. So you just need to literally even 30 minutes just disconnect, stop thinking about it, walk away. So I'm telling you this. Temper tantrum child you is starting to appear here. And this you has a giant rock, and the giant rock now smashes down on your three-dimensional creation with the letters and stuff. And it smashed it onto the three-dimensional tower and crushes it all to pieces, and it just scatters everywhere. You pause and you just silent right now. You didn't realize how worn out you were. You're really worn out. Like you're confused that you are so worn out because that was so full of excitement and movement and life force energy. And now that it's destroyed, it's strange because you're actually way more worn out than you realized. And you're shocked by that. I tell you, this is pretty natural when it comes to remembering that we are human and we are infinite souls, so we can go forever like the Energizer Bunny, right? No, we can't because we have to channel it through this one body, We have to channel it through our relationship with time, through our collective, through our earth, through our between astral planes and interdimensional universes, time and space, and all of our selves that we've ever been and ever will be. Like it's channeling through all this stuff, and then we collectively work through it through this one body, right? And it seems like we should be able to do everything and we can't. And so just it's okay to just step back. It's okay. It's like it's okay to remember that you can't do it all. And then you get angry. We end up going back to the map of the United States and then the puddles of teardrops that fill in different states that are missing from the map. And the temper tantrum now becomes you, and you slam your fist down on this map, and I hear all of the pieces of the puzzle, like they're plastic little pieces, just pop out, and then they pop all over the floor, and I hear them. And then you get mad, and whatever's left you just throw it. You throw this tray of like the United States, you throw the remaining piece that were in it, just like throw it against the wall, and then you just get so upset again. And you're frustrated between what is a practical reality that has the process and the freedom of the soul's expression and the joy of this metaphysical universe, and how it's like you are blended between them both, but you can't just be it all, you just there's a clash happening here. I say, okay, why don't we simplify this? Let's take the metaphysical stuff, and we now need to translate that into simple language, as simple numbers and simple practical tools like Google search. We can translate this into something simple, because you're gonna have to work with human stuff in order to get the answers that you're looking for. But when you work with metaphysical stuff, you feel a blossoming in your heart. It feels really good. And then when you have to go back to logic, it's like it's not the language you want to work with. It's not the language you want to work with. I say hey, don't judge. Don't judge. Stop being so hard on the basic earth styles here. Don't be like so cringy about it. Man, you're gonna hurt its feelings. Gonna hurt earth human styles feelings. Don't be too good for earth human styles. Find joy in that. This is good because I'm helping to bring balance to you. You as a human, you as beyond human, you as metaphysical, you as soul, you as energy, you as um, shapes and colors, and you as all this, and you as simplicity as well, like basic human stuff. It really isn't easy to do this, where you work with both, seamlessly work with both, because it's almost like you can only be one or the other, and then sometimes you have to bounce back in between, but you would prefer to be more in the metaphysical personality state than this human state. It's kind of tedious, this human stuff. It's more your language, is this energy stuff, metaphysical stuff, more your language. I say I'm literally taking things out of the third eye, like ego type evaluations, because I say what you're saying to me right now, I totally relate to. I know where it's coming from, but there's something beneath the surface that is why you're coming up with these excuses. They literally are sound statements that are still actual excuses for something that is unresolved inside yourself. Because you have no problem being human and metaphysical. You have no problem with that. So why are you deciding that you can't do that right now? Why did you decide that? That's ego that's evaluating and judging and saying these things. Those are merely excuses, because you have actually no problem with this. So why are you saying you have a problem now with this? You don't want to, okay. Takes a certain strength to do, to be, it takes a certain strength. And this is so weird, but you basically show me you're drinking out of a cup that is old and like medieval times, and it's golden, it has jewels on it, it has wine, and it's hard to drink from this cup. It's hard to drink from this cup, the wine from this cup. It's what you say. It's hard to drink the wine from this cup. And that's how you would express that yeah, okay, I can do both. It's just, please let me not be able to do both for once. Like, let me not be that person today. Okay. So you weren't being honest when you said that it's You can't do both. You can't blend them both. You were not being honest. The truth is, you can do it. The truth is, you just don't want to be that good today. Just let me like be a simpler person that doesn't have those developed skills. Because if I could be that simpler person that doesn't have those developed skills right now, that might make my life feel less demanding, less complicated, less of a way that it is that I just don't want to do right now. I don't want to do it like this right now. Okay, we're finding honest statements. Honest statements. How many times, like, let's all be real here. How many times where we fall into this and we literally, because life gets so complicated, it starts to become so many things that we want to be not as strong as the person that created everything we now have to deal with. We want to just break beneath the pressure and say, I'm done. But then you can't be done with it because you have to follow it all the way through. Why? Why did I do this to myself? I want to take a baby step back and cry and have a tantrum, and I'm not able to do it. I'm not. Actually, you totally can do this. So you need to say what you actually are capable of. You are absolutely capable of getting through this. Yeah, you're absolutely capable of getting through this. So what is the truth? You are tired of the process today, of having to be the person that can absolutely do this. That is defining the truth better. That is a better true statement, okay? It's good to put your finger on the truth. It's so easy to say it differently, right? And it feels good to say it like that, but it's misleading, misguiding, and sending out the wrong signals to the universe. And it's ego. I'm telling you, it's very hard to even recognize when we're doing things like this. So that feels so much better. What's cool is your third eye, your crown chakra, really reaping the reward here, and your heart really reaping the reward. Because now that we're stating the truth, you can love yourself. And the challenges that you've created for yourself, you can love yourself, and you can admit that they're hard, that you are strong enough to go through this, but it's not always something that it's like you want a vacation. Can you just have one? I get it. I get what you're expressing here. You can do this. It's honoring you. That statement is honoring you and your true capacity and who you actually are and what you are capable of. It's honoring you. Okay, what is this? Blah 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 blah. You kind of like have this like twitchy event here, and you just like I don't know what this you is, but she's annoyed, like eye roll, annoying. She's kind of like emanating. This is so annoying, but really all she's doing is venting. She's just literally venting. And she has white dominoes with black spots on them, and she throws them out like cards. Like literally like dealing cards out, but she's got these dominoes and she's like throwing them like kind of in a semicircle across with two hands. She's just throwing them out there and she's like blah 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 annoying eye roll. So she's emanating that, and I like it. 'Cause it literally she's venting. I know it seems like that's kind of sounds absurd. No, she's kind of stuck in the middle between the truth and the fantasy. And now that the truth is coming out, it's very annoying because we want to live in the slight fantasy that I can't blend the metaphysical and the physical. Yes, you can. Ugh, why do you have to tell me the truth about myself? So she's kind of just we're just getting that wiggle worm out of there. We love her as she is. So glad you're just expressing your true emotions, that this is annoying. What's these dominoes about? This is a message. Okay. I'm starting to see a white, it is like a spirit being, okay? And made out of a, I don't know how to define the spirit being, is oversized body, not because it is blubbery or anything. It's just wide and a lot of girth and wide shoulders, wide arms, long massive hands. Everything is like a balloon that's blown up, and it's a white balloon. It has eyes drawn on it, and it has kind of an odd mouth, a little bit of a nose. It's kind of a cartoon looking character. And what the message I felt when I was looking at this emanation was something that's missing for you in life here on earth as a human is more of the craft, more of the creative crafting of energy, the material that you get to work with that you've actually crafted through the bringing together of elements, of earth elements, of mental elements, emotional elements, like visions, elements of vision. Like craft something. You literally are crafting something, and it feels like when you use the crafting of what is like an energetic creation, somehow it feels like it was a whoopee cushion that doesn't make the funny noise. You know, it's like, what's the point of the whoopee cushion if it doesn't make the fart noise? It's just it loses its point, you know? Like, it's missing, Earth life is missing the savory flavor of the creation, the craft of the creation, the sharing of the material of your art, and that, but the real juiciness of the wisdom of the spirit realm, like that just flows through you, that we all feel like it's in all of us, that experience is in all of us. It's just, it's like that the flavors, the colors, the sounds, the shapes, the meanings are just, it's like missing from this life, from this earth world. And I long to be what I feel that I am in full force of my identity as a human being. So, to translate that simply, you want to be a magical human being who actually creates magical things that have magical outcomes, and that everybody can see it, work with it, receive it, experience it, and rejoice. And you want to live in a magical world where everybody can do those things too, and that the gifts are shared, and that there is a development. It's almost like taking what could be science and twisting science with creative forces that are the magic of the universe. So it's like science kind of falls flat, but magic is the science of creation and the spirit realm and the physics of the universe. But it's like not the dry side, but the creative, colorful side, the soul side, the soul fabric side. It's like we're not allowed to use our souls here. In a way, it's like we're becoming where you could take a human being that's hilarious, okay? Let's say a comedian. And now you create a robot that tries to be a funny robot. And it's like maybe it could work, but the human is alive with personality, facial expressions, hand gestures, different noises of laughter or seriousness, or and lively body movements. And then you have this, like in my image, it's like a, I don't know, like this kind of cube shaped thing that has a monotone voice, that maybe it's a catchy joke, but it's hard to feel it because it's lost its character, you know? And so you're kind of emanating that this too is part of what you're struggling with between being the human and the metaphysical, and then blending of the two. And yes, you can do both, but you miss something, you miss a flavor of life There's a flavor of the purpose of living and the creative forces. You miss that. And it's hard to access that or live in that reality here in this present day earth. And it is kind of like your soul feels dried out by this world, you know? This world is creates a dry feeling. I say I'm proud of you. I mean, we've come full circle on quite a lot of interesting concepts. I mean, it's really balancing out mind and heart. It's really balancing out your identity. It's really balancing you out, you know? It feels like it doesn't need to be a metaphysical event or a human event. It can just be a you event. And it doesn't have to be precise. It doesn't have to be specific. It can just be, and we can just experience the next moment or even just the moment that we're in. You really want an answer, though. You really want, it's almost like if you could manifest or materialize the answer, and then you could journey into, as in your life now enters into the answer, and then you live and manifest a new reality within the answer. Okay, so here you are as you are, and there's a something that this you is desiring the answer. Okay, then wanting to live in the answer. And when you live in the answer, you build. And that's what creates this tower of life. This tower of life. It has a foundation. It has the inner materials of experience. It has a beginning and an end, so to speak. It has the development, its own creation, its own life force, its own gift to this world. And you want that structure. You want that structure. So I say, okay, so you want structure in your life. You want to enter into a life, the next phase of your life, let's just say, or this phase that's happening right now. Like this phase now becomes, everything around you becomes the answer. And now you're existing in the answer. That is your life that you are in right now. The answer. You are in the answer right now. You are in life. Life is the answer. You are in life. You are in the answer. You already are the manifestation of that answer. Don't get too particular about. I know as human beings, we want everything to add up. 1+1 = 2. We want this structure is this size, this shape, built on this day, fell down on this day. This many people entered into it and left it, and it was open during these specific hours. We want the specific stuff. And we don't know how to just let life, which is not so specific, it's just this movement. It's not always moving in the direction we want it to go. It's not always what we want it to be. It's this complicated and confusing thing. Life, is it really the specific answer? I don't know what else could be more specific. But life is everything. And how could I wrap my head around everything all at one time? I want some specific answers. Okay. So now we are going to start with you are in the answer. The answer is life. You now are living in life. You are, and your life has been and will continue to be, the building blocks of what you are creating as you are, with no beginning and no end. Now, within this life, what is it that you want to get out of this life? What answer? What answer do you need to get out of this life? That everything's going to be okay? I know that's kind of one of those vague sensations. I mean, it's a sensation that everything's going to be okay is flipping awesome. To feel that way and to feel it as your divine truth that everything is going to be okay is an awesome sensation. But it's like Life isn't just that sensation. It's when. When is that going to happen? What? What will that specifically look like? Who? Who will I be working with, or who will be in my life, or will this ever happen? And so it's like the building blocks of the unknown. Vague. Why are we trying to craft now exactly the way we want our life to be? Feels flippin' good, right? To play God, to have the blocks that we put where we want them to go, and for it to be exactly the life we want to live, right? I need my life to be exactly the way I want it to be. But life, the answer that is life, then is constantly giving us something we didn't expect. And then how are we supposed to say that everything is going to be okay? Because you're looking for security. That is a real human sensation. What is the magic in looking, wanting, feeling security? Is the magic taking you away from the true building blocks of what it is to exist as a human being, to want safety, security? The answer is what? You are living your life. Life is as it will be. Life is, okay? And that is safe. It is safe to live your life without answers. Is it safe to live your life without answers? Do you need to control? You need to play God. This is how it has to be. I need numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. I need these numbers. I need them. I have to have them. If I don't get them, I don't feel secure. So now we are attached to a specific concept, and even attached to ideas like magic. A reality of magic would make me feel so much happier, because that's not necessarily true. It's just an idea that helps you to define who you are, things that you like, things that you're interested in. That's life. It's a bigger picture. You are safe to live your life. Life is a safe experience. Is life going to hurt you? Is life a safe experience? Do you have to be in control of all the details? You have to find the answers. You have to put the puzzle together. You have to live this life, this uncomfortable life. Is life safe? Yes, it is safe to live your life. It is safe. Living is a safe experience. Living is a safe experience. This really tells me that I'm starting to feel threads, lots of threads of unresolved, what could be panic, unresolved, what could be holding your breath still in some part of your life, unresolved sensations with your emotions. It's almost like nerves, and even it's like layers of what could be now energy versions of the nerves that are still taut, that are still sensed, that are still like vibrating, still alive, the live wire of the nerves in that specific second of your life, and you're still living your life based on these nerves, and it's emotionally hard on your heart. And is it true that it is safe to live your life? What if it's okay sometimes to say that I don't feel safe living my life because I am tired of being hurt? And I want to just say that I am tired of being hurt because I am tired of being hurt. So now, what is the true magic of being human? Is true, deep raw honesty with oneself and finding the way to get into those deep roots so that you can find inner peace, so that you can feel safe living life. Life then is the answer. I'm gonna do what I can to neutralize this because it's really heightened senses and it relates to the nerves being on edge. The nerve volume is just high, you know. I'm really glad that I've been able to access this because, uh, you know, when I've helped people with fibromyalgia, I swear on the energy side, fibromyalgia is absolutely, there is so much benefit to energy work when it comes to healing fibromyalgia because it is so hardcore stress related. And you can have burnt out nerves, like memories even of the nerves on end because of too much overlapping events, too many overlapping events that are too literally mini traumas in life. That is, stress creates mini traumas, and it depends on the volume of the stress that creates the trauma that then you can't sleep at night or whatever, you know. All this stuff is overlapping activated nerves from memories that are still alive, you know. And so I'm coming into a space where I see all these pins and needles and your nerves are just active. They're just on edge, you know, they're vibrating. The sound of them, I feel it. It's like electricity being electrocuted by the nerves. Because this will help you relax. This will help you ease into your body. This will help you feel comfortable with the way things are as they are. Because it is safe. The way things are as they are is safe. You have parts of you that are running the electricity in here, and they're very determined to keep the electricity high, the electrical voltage in flow, okay? And I say, why? It's like, why do we become attached to events? And then we don't want to let go of our attachment to those events because if we let go, it's like it never happened, or that the pain that we went through because of those events now doesn't matter, or that whatever the effect of those events, if we just become at peace with the event, it's almost like it doesn't do the event then justice and it doesn't honor the way that that event affected us. So we need to maintain a suffering related to the event, in order to keep the event alive, in order to keep what our worth is in attachment to that event and everything we went through. You know, we deserve to be acknowledged here. And if we keep the suffering going, then by golly, maybe somebody will finally say, wow, and turn that suffering off for us. Because we're tired of having to turn it off for ourselves and act like it never happened when it did happen, you know? And I say, turning this, I mean, it is a straight up electrical company in here. And it's like a giant switch, and I'm just turning the switch off. I say, this doesn't negate the fact that you have had experiences, hardcore ones. This is the next step with those experiences. This is the graduation. Don't you ever want to graduate from those experiences? Or you just want to stay in high school with them? Almost there, but I am not going to let go of how bad that hurt. Even if I feel better about it, I still am hurt inside. And when we graduate, when we come full circle with it, the nerves relax. We have inner peace. We graduate to the next level of our humanity and say, oh my gosh, I went through that and I don't have to be in pain anymore over that. but I can be proud of myself and I don't have to punish myself because life punished me and I have to hold on to it because the pain hurt so bad and I just need to be acknowledged for the pain that I went through. Is this we just turned that off. I just turned it off inside of you. Electrical company is closed for business. You have thousands of little people coming out now of the ground in here, and they're looking for their mother. Little children are going in every direction looking for their mother. And your heart is aching, and there is this release of a suffering sound, like a wailing, screaming, crying mother release sound from the heart. And it's the feeling of children that have no mothers. And it kind of goes back to the idea of, let's say that there's some kind of story about crabs or some things that wash up on the beach, okay, and the boy's trying to save all of them, all right, and then a man comes and tells him, it's like you can't save everyone, but you can, do what you can to save what you can, and accept like what you can and can't do. You can't do it all. And it's like you need to let go of your responsibility to more than you can be responsible for. Again, you're not an Energizer bunny. You're a soul, but you're still a human. And you got to simplify it on down. You can't do it all. You can't save all of these crying kids. You're going to have to watch some of them suffer. Or you have to see how strong they are to choose such challenging paths. And then love them for that. Too many crying children. Man, the energy that's over your heart space. Whew. We've really cleared some things out here, and I'm so proud of you for getting to this point. I mean, this is the magic of being human. And it's emotional stuff. It's outsmarting your own ego. It's feeling the vulnerabilities, sensations we don't want to feel. It's not allowing ourselves to be completely self-aware of these things. It's trying to get into the rhythm of day-to-day life, which is taking us, into missing sensations like magic. And really, we're just not completely self-aware. The magic of ourself as a human being is emotional. Is taking on more than we realize. And then when we realize that, say, wow, I had no idea. This is the coolest realization ever. Epiphanies are pretty cool things to a human being. Suddenly realizing something about yourself that was staring you in the face that you couldn't put your finger on, and now suddenly it's just so obvious. It's like one of the most magical moments to a human being. This is just another message. And I feel your nerves are relaxing, and I feel you relaxing and easing into your body and just easing into the answer, that which is life, and feeling whole, okay? I'm feeling whole. All right. Beautiful, beautiful experience. Thank you very much. I feel amazing. I feel all that energy development here from your heart, and it's really beautiful energy flowing here from the heart. And your third eye and crown are relaxing. They're really relaxing, and they're at ease. Your nerves are relaxing. You feel more breathable. You feel more peaceful. You feel more like yourself, your whole self. It's a nice feeling. I get to feel it. It's nice. All right. Thank you very much for this experience. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day.